I'm here today with Yak Patel, who's the Chief Exec of CVS, Community Voluntary Solutions. Firstly, Yak, can I ask you a little bit about what CVS does and who it represents?
Okay, so CVS has been around for 50 years in Lancaster, and it supports communities right across the Lancaster district. And it also supports over 1,500 charities that work with young people, older people, families, and a whole array of people. So we are really sort of enthused with working with communities and improving communities as well.
What do you think about the current level of activities for young people in the Lancaster district?
Oh, I think it could be definitely improved.
Yeah.
I think it could definitely be improved. And the things that are available to young people are quite often expensive.
Yeah.
So and quite limited as well. So there's only so many times you want to go to the cinema.
Yeah.
Or you want to go bowling or swimming,
Yeah.
but certainly there needs to be a much higher level of activity for young people and affordable activity as well.
Do you think there are particular issues with young people in rural areas?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Transport is one of them. I think it's kind of hidden. I think young people that live in rural areas have hidden issues as well that we don't quite understand. Just because you live in the rural areas, people tend to think that they do quite well and it's nice and peaceful, but actually, you know, I think they need a lot of more support and understanding around friendship and trying to access support and enjoy life basically. So yeah, I do think that, yes.
And would you have liked the sorts of opportunities Escape2Make are offering? And if so, what activities would you have enjoyed?
I've seen the Escape2Make programme. It all looks really exciting actually. Yes, I think, you know what, when I was at school and even now, I loved practical things. I wasn't a very academic person.
Yeah.
You know, I loved to use my hands, so I loved art, I loved making things. So I think what Escape2Make offers is that variety of where you can use your skill, you know, your creative side, your artistic side. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful programme for all abilities and all ages and all interests as well.
Do you think that teenagers have the same challenges as you did when you were a teenager?
Very good question. I think, yeah, do you know what? I think young people today have significantly harder issues. You know what, when I was your age, when I was a young person, yeah, do you know what? There was a lot of challenges that we face, access to jobs and training. But I think like today, you know, I think young people have more to deal with. I think social media has a part to play in that. But I think expectations of young people to be performing much better than they should be, or to act older than what they should be, rather than sort of letting young people be who they are and just enjoy being young. So I think young people definitely have a lot to face, and I think, you know, I've got a 13-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son, and I know that they've always kind of struggled with like anxiety and sort of like mental health, and I think that's because as education and as society, we expect so much from them, and I think they can find that very difficult to navigate through that. So, so I think we're seeing more and more young people have a lot of self-esteem issues and a lot of issues with anxiety, and so and that's not acceptable.
Yeah, like high expectations and peer pressure.
I think so, and I think that goes back to assessing young people from an early age.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of expectations on schools as well. I think schools have got the best interest of young people, but because of the way that schools have to try and get young people through education, it's almost like a one-size-fits-all, and it doesn't really lend itself to young people being creative and actually offering young people different opportunities. So yeah, so I think it is a lot more challenging for young people today than it was when I was younger. But that's not to say that we didn't have our challenges.
Yeah.
I think we definitely had our challenges, but I think young people are expected to do more with peer pressure, to look good.
Yeah.
Probably to do things that, you know, risk-taking activities, like whether it's drinking or taking drugs or, you know, getting involved in crime and stuff like that. So I think young people don't only just face one issue, but there's multiple of issues that they can normally face.
Yeah, and just to throw this out there, if you were Prime Minister, what would you change for teenagers?
Do you know what I'd firstly do? I would, and I hope you understand this, but I would stop austerity.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I think austerity for the last 5 years has impacted on families, and I think families are important to young people's development. If you've got a good family life, you know, it's much easier for young people to sort of grow up in today's environment. So I would stop austerity because that's actually creating poverty for a lot of people, including young people.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd stop that first. I would, you know what, I would make transport easier. I think actually young people should pay so much less to get about in this district. It should be 50p and you should be able to get around all day no matter which way you want to go. And I think Europe does that at the moment. You should be able to jump on a train and a bus and a tram for as little as possible so we can get around, young people can get around and create that independency. I would like to bring back education allowances for young people that go to college to help them through college, you know. So it gives young people sort of like an income to be able to buy things that they need for college to help them get themselves through college and get a better education. And I would definitely want to try, you know what I would do? I would bring back more investment for youth services, giving young people more to do, you know, whether it's youth clubs, whether it's, you know, things like Escape2Make provide and other charities provide. I think there should be a lot more support for young people when they're not in school, so when it's weekends and evenings, so they've got somewhere to go, somewhere safe to go, and they can actually see trusted adults and make relationships and get involved with like positive activities.
So what advice would you give your teenage self?
My teenage self?
Yeah.
Get a better education. Do education, you know. I said this to my own kids, you know, just do well at school, you know. Do the best at school. I'm not saying that you should be completely high achieving, but do well at school. So when you leave school, you know, you have better options with apprenticeships and college, you know. You know, I'd say, you know, get involved in community life, you know, volunteer, you know, give a little bit back because you'll get so much reward from helping other people, you know, so it's not just all about having fun, guys, it's also about sometimes giving back a little bit yourself because you just get a lot from that. So,
why do you think there isn't enough activities for young people aged 11 to 18?
I think the truthful answer is because it's too expensive for the government. I don't think any government has prioritised young people. You know, I think you know what? I think some areas see young people as problems. Do you know what I mean? So if you was putting something in town centre, 8 o'clock in the midweek, I think people think that you're going to cause problems. You know, so they want to try and control that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's why you see young people on parks and, you know, that hanging out on street corners or whatever. Because I think that government officials think that young people would be a problem, and actually they're not. You know, actually, if you provide so many different safe spaces for young people, I think you guys would step up and actually respect that. You know, and you know what? You might get some people that might make it worse for other people, like mess about and stuff. But that doesn't mean that they're bad people.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where they've been, you don't know what their family life is like or what they're going through, do you? You know, so I always think that even if you're a troubled young person that's creating lots of problems, they should be helped as well. Do you know what I mean? As well as the great kids that do well. So I think it's because they don't want to spend the money and they see young people as problems.
Yeah. So thank you for being here today. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
Do it, man. Thank you very much.